Hey, it's me. So today I was thinking about vulnerability, um, and it can really apply towards a lot of aspects in life, but I'm really gearing this towards relationships, and we all probably have been hurt or trusted someone that we shouldn't have, or things didn't go as we planned and we felt like I'm never going to trust someone again. I am never going to allow someone to play me and play with my emotions and trick me like that ever again. I'm not being vulnerable anymore. And really, you know, that just hurts yourself. Being really guarded doesn't protect you from being hurt. I feel like it just allows you to compartmentalize your emotions and act like you're okay when you're really not. And it can be hard to identify who deserves that level of vulnerability from you, because realistically, everyone doesn't deserve it. And I feel like there is no risk without reward. When you do find the right person, you have to be willing to open up, to create something special with them. And sometimes it's hard to be honest with someone. It's hard to be honest with them about how we feel because it's possible we haven't been honest with ourselves about how we feel. And emotions can be fleeting. So sometimes we need to sit and evaluate or sleep on it. But speaking more on how it can affect your relationship if you're not willing to be vulnerable, because I really think a healthy relationship involves a high level of communication. And ultimately, you want your conflicts to have resolution. So that means not allowing your emotions to be swept under the rug or pushed down or shoved aside. So for myself, I know I have a habit of worrying about other people's emotions more than my own. And sometimes I get so caught up in wanting to make someone else happy and meet their needs and make sure they're taken care of, I forget about what I need. I forget about what I want and my own desires. There are feelings that I need to express, that should be expressed. But they should be expressed in a sense of constructive criticism, because you want to state what has went well and what you want them to improve on without it being insulting. So it could be like, you're so thoughtful at remembering important events and following up with me to check on me. But when I talk to you about my day, you just seem disinterested, or like you're too busy to be bothered, or like I'm boring you. And it makes me feel like I'm irrelevant or like I'm not important to you in those moments. And I really would like you to engage with me more about my day, but also tell me more about yours so I can feel more connected to you. Or it can be something like, you're really great with spending time with the kids, but I really want us to have alone time together. That's just us. And I remember when we first started dating, we loved playing cards together. And I really want us to create some time, at least once a week, where we bring that back and do something that's just me and you. And sometimes we are afraid if we express ourselves that we might scare that person away or they may leave. And that's also why I think the way that you express yourself is just as important as the words of your expression. So like your tone, all of that is really important because how you say it can definitely elicit different results. So that's what I mean by the constructive criticism. Instead of it being like, you don't ever have time for me anymore, and you're just mad. I mean, that doesn't really leave a lot to go off of, but it can also create a state where someone just feels defensive, especially if they do feel like they're making an effort or they're trying. But also that constructive criticism offers that path of, okay, like you have done this well, and this is what I feel like I want you to work on, and this is the way that I would like to see it happen. Here's some suggestions of what we could do to help fix this. Vulnerability, it really can create a closeness with your partner as you are really connecting on a deeper level in a meaningful way. And if you're expressing where you're at, you allow your partner the chance to honor those feelings. And if you're saying that you're fine when you're really not fine, if you're saying that nothing's wrong because it was something small, but something really is wrong, it can really exacerbate those issues and create larger issues. Because usually, or even just over time, they can sense that you're really not fine and that something really is wrong. And it could ache at them because you're denying them the chance to satisfy your needs because you just won't admit your feelings. And openness really isn't a bad thing when you're with the right person. It allows them to feel closer to you because they want to support you. So don't deny them that chance by boxing up your feelings. To help determine if it is a long-lasting, healthy relationship, it's really important to slowly achieve a level of comfortability to show your quote-unquote weakness. When you're with the right person, I really think that your weaknesses become your strengths because your partner helps alleviate that weight that is on you, that shame or embarrassment or that desire to hide those things. And instead of feeling like those are things that you might feel are a weakness, instead you feel comforted, supported, and uplifted in something that previously plagued you. When you're vulnerable with the right person, caveat, right person being the key word here, your conflicts can have resolutions. And I was watching the lady from Divorce Court, and she was saying something about how the person that you marry will be the person that sees you at your worst. They will see you when you are at your weakest. And I feel like that's why it's really important to be honest with yourself about how you feel. And while you may think that you're doing your partner a favor because you're not telling them all these emotions and things that you feel because maybe you don't want to burden them, or maybe you just feel like it's not that important. But the reality is, it's creating a disconnect because they can't truly assess where you're at. And it ultimately can end up creating this distance between you. So to be able to open up, it's important to make them feel comfortable, to make each other feel comfortable, to foster an environment where vulnerability is accepted and they don't feel judged. And knowing that those conversations come from a place of desiring to want to understand each other better. It's important for both people in a relationship to share Because if it's only one person being vulnerable and expressing themselves and sharing their feelings, they may start to feel guilty. They may start to feel like they're a burden because they're the only one ever saying anything. They're the only one ever expressing themselves. And they might in turn start to suppress those feelings because no one wants to feel like they're out on that limb alone. Join them. Create that union where emotional expression provides that deeper connection and that closeness. Make sure that you're willing to be vulnerable with them and open up and create something together. Anyways, these are just my random thoughts.